This has happened repeatedly. He'll have one day.
Yes.
One day out of the past 6-7 months where 140,000 Americans have died. Again, about two and a half times the number of deaths in Vietnam. He'll have one day where he'll say, well, maybe with all these people dying, maybe I should read my script. Instead of lying about masks, instead of mocking Joe Biden about masks, instead of mocking reporters about masks, instead of accusing people of being politically correct, instead of sending his chief of staff to Capitol Hill to look at reporters wearing masks going, you sure look funny in masks, or whatever he said.
Yep.
Again, let's put this into perspective, my friends. Over 140,000 people have died. Over 140,000 Americans have died. And as Jonathan Lemire has pointed out, once in a while, he reads a script. Once in a while, he doesn't say something that makes the lives of senior citizens and diabetics and people with asthma hang in the balance. Once in a while, he doesn't say something that encourages Americans to abuse store clerks for wearing masks, to abuse people in grocery stores who take care of you, who work for minimum wage, who put their lives on the line every day because they have families to take care of, and they've got people screaming at them, people abusing them, people getting in their face and screaming, people going to racks with masks and dumping them on the floor because they think that Americans have fought and died for over 240 years so they could have the constitutional right to kill senior citizens, to kill diabetics, to kill people with asthma, to kill their family members, and to kill others by not wearing masks. Mika.
Yeah.
We do not give a president credit after 142,000 Americans have died, after 2.5 Vietnam War deaths, of saying, oh, maybe we shouldn't have gone into Vietnam. You know what? We're going to come up with a plan to get out of Vietnam. Because this really wasn't Vietnam. This is much easier. This was like, and I'm not being sarcastic here, do what Joe Biden told you to do at the end of January. Let the doctors and let the scientists run this show. And instead, here we are, 142,000 dead after 2.5 Vietnams. You don't get credit for that. You don't get credit for letting over 100,000 senior citizens die. You don't get credit for ignoring this virus time and time again. You don't get credit for being, I don't know, I think probably more wrong than any president in the history of the United States has ever been, with more calamitous results. No credit. Sorry. Just stop. Just go home.
Well,
you've already killed enough Americans.
And
by the way,
absolutely true, he has.
If that sounds extreme, I'd be glad to spend the next 3 hours just reading your quotes, Mr. President. I'd be glad to do that. If any of your apologists who've been mocking people for wearing masks, well, you've said this. Masks are politically correct. Oh, you're wearing the mask because you want to be politically correct. You said masks were dirty. You said wearing masks are double-edged swords. Quote, people touch them and they grab them, and I see it all the time. They come in, they take the mask, now they're holding it now in their fingers, and they drop it on the desk, and then they touch their eye and they touch their nose. No, I think a mask. It's a double-edged sword. No, it's not a double-edged sword. And you know what? Your own CDC, since the beginning of April, Your own Surgeon General, who even did videos in the beginning of April saying, this is how you make a mask at home, because there was a shortage of masks. I don't know if you remember that. There was a shortage of masks. Doctors, nurses, medical providers didn't have those masks. And so they were concerned about it. There's a shortage of masks.
Didn't he go to a mask factory and, like,
wouldn't wear a mask? No, it was a swab factory in Maine. I think it was in Maine. Jonathan Lemire, was that in Maine where he went to a factory and refused to wear a mask? So they had to destroy all the work that they did when the president was there?
That's what it was.
Joe, that's exactly right. And I think that you are correct here. As I was saying, this is whatever the president said yesterday, this is a too little, too late moment for